Yeah. Hello, I'm James Howell. Welcome to the Deltahead stream. Let me tilt this up a little bit here. Yeah, cool. Hi, yes, welcome to the Deltahead stream. Today we are doing a PlayStation 2 game, Resident Evil Dead Aim. This is a game for the GUNCON2, a peripheral for the PlayStation 2 that didn't see a whole lot of use during its short-lived existence. What can you say about the GUNCON2? Now, the GUNCON2 doesn't tell you about itself. It's a gun, it's a controller, it's the second one. They wisely, here, hold on one second. I'm going to be right back. You can look at the books behind me. I'm going to get the GUNCON1 so you can kind of appreciate the change in design. 1 second. Hello. All right, I'm back. For everybody who has wandered in while I was getting this for a quick history lesson here. Hey, kiddo. What you doing? Yeah, well, I am always discombobulated because the way that I've said it the past several streams have involved at least a couple of custom peripherals in a room that I don't usually do that in. My library is typically technology minimal, so I have to kind of set this stuff all up here on its own. And this is a piece of technology. Come on, coming up? No, of course you're not. Anyway, so here is a quick history lesson on the star of the show, the GUNCON1. GUNCON was as the name suggests, gun, controller, was a PlayStation 1 peripheral made by Namco, and it's a lot of like gun shooter peripherals, often made by first-party hardware developers. This was made by Namco, second party, and also, if you can see there, had the PlayStation insignia on it, so it's official hardware. And yet also other third-party developers went in and made games for it. One of the most ill-fated, let me turn this light up toward me here. One of the most ill-fated games for this particular peripheral was Resident Evil Survivor, the PlayStation 1 shooter game that happened to come out right after Columbine, and that was back before apparently we decided we didn't care about these things, mass shootings. So they were super sensitive about that. So what they did was they took the GUNCON support out of it. You could not play it on your TV like that, and they gave you little crosshairs that you control with your D-pad on the PS1, which is not as fun. Yes, timing is really bad. And yes, you're right, it actually does look like Solid Snake SOCOM. It's got the kind of... That's actually interesting. I'm curious to see... Yeah, it looks like we've got the same kind of thing going on here with a... what is aesthetically... It's funny, I mean, it's a laser gun, right? But they put aesthetically kind of like a laser attachment to it. But so yeah. So GUNCON1, I have this. I need to get a Japanese PS2 and a Japanese copy of PS1 Survivor because of Resident Evil Gun Survivor, because I am very interested in that game, played as it's designed, because I have played Dead Aim, Resident Evil Gun Survivor 2, actually Gun Survivor 3, 4, right, the second console Resident Evil shooter. I have played that both with the hand controller and also with the peripheral, and it's very clear that this game is designed for this this device. Yes, would fit right into the animated series. One thing that is interesting about the design of these two things, also I imagine something that was probably done in response to you know, the fact that there is increased sensitivity about gun violence is, you know, any kind of like airsoft gun has a sort of like red or orange muzzle off the top of it. You know, it just says that this thing doesn't have the kick that the alternative does. You know, it's like the orange lip container for decaf. And this is entirely orange to let you know that that this is absolutely a toy, unlike a real gun. Yeah, the I don't know if you can read this, but it's GUNCON system product number 2. Never even used laser guns. I remember a laser tag video game. Hello, I am a gray colored peripheral because I am in fact lethal. Goodbye. Yeah, I remember laser tag. All you see is orange. Is the stream screwing up? Please let me know. So, a quick tour around the GUNCON2. You have, of course, your trigger, which is used for the shootings. And, oh, couldn't see any text. Okay, that's probably because of the low lighting in here, and I apologize for that. But independent of the aesthetics, it still has a little Namco thing. There's a trigger. There's a button down here on the heel of the gun. That is, I don't really know what that is analog to, but it is its own button. There are 2 buttons on the side that you squeeze. You can they do the same. They're basically shoulder buttons. This is your left shoulder. This is your right shoulder. Hey, Roundelay. Good to see you. Am I going to spin it? Well, I mean, I would get exactly 1 revolution out of it because it does have this fancy wire coming out the bottom of it. Also, one of the things it tells you is that it is in fact a toy. There's also on this side, there are 2, that's basically your X and your 0 buttons. Curiously, they have a button here they have a thing here that looks like a button, but actually isn't. You kind of have to have some manual experience with it to kind of look at the design and know which parts of it are interactable. For the longest time, I didn't know this thing existed, right? But again, I didn't exactly buy it with a manual. So yeah, as far as like a user review of the product, it is fairly awkward to use it as a gun and also use your thumb here. It is not ergonomic. It might work for somebody with larger hands, admittedly, but you know, handguns come in different sizes for different grip strengths and hand sizes, but the gun peripherals don't. So it's no, hey, come here. Yes, you go over there now. She has been awful today. So yeah, so my arm gets tired, and that is one of the reasons why I'm going to be wearing this carpal tunnel brace to make sure I don't break my wrist. How many bits for 360 no scope? Man, is that no scope? Is that a shooting peripheral for the 360? I'm not aware of that. Or are you talking like 360 environment? So yeah. However, looks like this fella here does not engage with the menu. So 1 second. Yep. Let's plug you in here. Cool. There we are. And it now occurs to me that I actually don't need to use this to navigate because this is not a system with an XMB or a menu. But let's take a look and see what I've got on the memory card here. Wow. Holy cow. Final Fantasy, Outbreak, Lepocell Tactics, Disgaea, Castlevania, Dino Stalker, Katamari Damacy. These are good games. So, there we go. And something that is a little special about the physical setup for today. So the GUNCON2 as an example of this, you have to plug it into the system like a regular controller, but it also has an AV out for the peripheral itself. The way that this works is you have the AV out coming from the gun. You have to splice it into the analog video out from the console. And with those two things as a single signal, they have to go to an analog CRT television. You actually can't play these games on a digital screen. It just doesn't register. So I had to kind of do some creative splicing to get the GUNCON going to the CRT, which is right in front of me, and also have the signal go to the television, or the streaming setup. So, a little surprised to see Disgaea. Oh yeah, I loved Disgaea. It was a good SRPG. Let's see. Disgaea 2, Episode 1, probably New Game Plus, level 99. Yep. I put a lot of time into that. 2003. Man, a long time ago. So, here we go. PlayStation 2 registered disc. Oh, nifty. Yeah, I never played Disgaea 2. Got into it, found it wasn't the same characters, and lost interest. But, so I'm not a genre purist, clearly. So yeah, what you have to do in order to calibrate this, you manually aim at the center, then off to the side, and it uses that to, I guess it uses that to assess the size of your television. Disgaea special items for Team Fortress 2. That is the weirdest pairing. So, start button exit. Which is the start button? There we go. So one of the things that makes this particular playthrough extra challenging is my CRT is about 14 inches, and that is not a large surface for aiming. Yeah, so it's also a little bit of a darker television. If I adjust the brightness, then it'll look too bright on stream, so it's atmospherically darker and also smaller shooting, so it's a special kind of challenge. Alright. And just like a regular gun range, I do have to have not ear protection. Ear protection on a gun range keeps the sound out. This puts the sound in. Establishing a kingdom where absolute beauty is absolute authority. Yeah, so Resident Evil Dead Aim, I think this was like a 2004 game, and this is a New Game Plus file. I beat it a while back. Equipping all does not make you explode if you die to fall damage. That is a shame, and that is a significant design oversight. Establishing a kingdom where beauty has absolute authority is the dream which I must make a reality. Yeah, this takes place. It starts on a tanker. It's interesting. It's kind of like Revelations, proto Revelations in terms of setting. And it features Bruce McGivern, who we will listen to now.
A substance known as the T virus leaked throughout the However, Umbrella, the corporation developing the virus, refused to abort the project. And once again, the threat of biological terror was thrust upon the world. A large amount of T-virus was stolen 3 days ago. A terrorist group hit an Umbrella lab in France. Yesterday, one of Umbrella's cruisers was hijacked and contaminated with the same virus.
It is interesting that for Bruce's kind of slant, they chose to go with Southern American accent. And we start in media res with Bruce already on the ropes.
Why you American spies choose to use such ugly guns is still a mystery to me.
Morpheus.
No, don't throw your gun. That's literally why I'm here.
Think that cheap clothing you're wearing is going to your head. What do you plan to do with the T-virus?
I'm afraid that's all the playtime we have for today. You die. Now.
It is our Ada Wong analog. Actually, I didn't think about this the first time I played it, but I can see how Bruce is sort of a Leon-like, and Faye, who is the grenade-throwing spy up there, is our Ada Wong analog. Hi, Toe. It's good to see you. This is Resident Evil Dead Aim, a light gun shooter for the PlayStation 2. And yeah, let me turn down the volume for what I've got in my ears here. This shouldn't affect anything you guys are hearing. But yeah, it does look a little weird. It is it's a stylized cutscene, and a cutscene FMV style, and yeah, it has a little bit of that. It's kind of at this weird midpoint where, you know, they had the very uncomfortable, awkward jank of the PlayStation 1 full motion videos for like the Capcom games like RE2 and such. And so those are clearly unsophisticated early attempts, so you kind of know that you're looking at something that's stylized for the medium. But then, you know, you get into the PS3 era, and you've got like a lot more mocap and things like that informing how a lot of dramatic sequences go. And PS2, like especially late gen, which this is mid-late gen, it's kind of neither nor. It's still rough, it's still handmade, but they're better, but they're not great. So it's kind of a neat middle ground. So. Mo7, you mentioned that you expected this to be a rail shooter. Well, it is in fact not, and this is a very weird game design-wise, because it did seek to take the Resident Evil third-person adventure format, but also adapt it to a first-person shooter experience. In a way, this is kind of a weird off-brand of what Mikami eventually did with Resident Evil 4. You do have a camera that is not fixed, is not locked. It does move at a smooth 60 FPS. And you use the crosshairs to move your character around. Forward, back, left, right, tank controls. Yeah, so these are cool games. I really am interested to see how they adapted expected genre behaviors to a controller that is made for a completely different type of game. If you got, you've got your Time Crisis 3, you've got Dino Stalker. Dino Stalker is its own thing, but you've got like Time Crisis 3, which is a rail shooter, and you kind of know what to do, right? You aim and you shoot, and that's your skill. But this, you move in the environment, and one of the things that makes this challenging as a game to play is that you do have to keep this pressure pinching between your thumb and your forefinger. And that's your confirm. Yes, that is a fair way of describing it. When you want to aim, you push the trigger button, and it goes into first person. And then as soon as you hit the crosshair again, then it starts moving. So, and I have this particular setup. It's a lawn chair. I need this to not have my arms die on me halfway through. And you can press the action button and you move more cautiously. You can pay attention to your character's head direction to find objects in the environment. Let you immerse yourself in the horror. So, hold on one second. I'm going to try to dim that light, see if it doesn't make things too impossible to see on the camera end, just because there is some glare that's interfering with the TV. Okay. Well. All right, let's see if we can find a middle ground between functionality and production values. All right. One of the things that is strange about the gun shooting thing before it turns into a, situation that I need to handle in gameplay. When you go into first person, you can move your vision left to right, but because the way to get out of first person is by moving forward and backwards, as soon as you move up and down, you go out of it. So you actually don't have up and down control over your view, which is kind of a no-no for a shooter with, vertical enemy placement. One of the many weird choices they made for this game. I like how Bruce just automatically goes for it. It's no longer human. You can also, if you press this guard button at the right time, you can parry, like that, and then you get kind of an easier static enemy to get a headshot on. Keyboard aiming games. Oh, that's not what you want. Hold on a second. Yeah, the headphones are pretty necessary here to there we go. To kind of have some directional orientation, especially with the screen as dark as this, because it is sure hard to see. Yes, funnily enough, I mean, just keeping with the genre conventions, even on the boat, the third area that you're in, the fourth area that you're in on the boat is the Spencer Mansion. Oh God. Ooh, that's a lot of people. I'm expected to come back to life. Yeah, one of the things that is a little uncomfortable is having to, I mean, I can rest this arm on this knee, but having to hold the other arm up after some playtime gets tiring. Yeah, the sweet spot is like right on the crown of the head. If you hit them in the face, then they'll knock back and their arms go up. So you have about like half a second before you can get access to the sweet spot again. Making careful aiming an important priority. Let's carry this. What? Okay, yeah. So that's another problem with assigning the contextual function with an action item. I'm trying to parry. I picked up a green herb. I'm probably going to take damage, but at least I've got something to compensate for that. Oh, awesome. Oh, well. Yes, those are crits. When you hit them critically, they fly back, ragdoll physics, which for as nonsensical as it might be, actually makes a lot of sense like in terms of like functionality, because that gets the enemy out of the way, right? Oh god. Oh god. Yep, go, 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 go. Oh god. And so yeah, it's interesting as a yes, Toe, I know, right? It's like this is when Spencer went into shipbuilding, right? You should see the sailboats that he makes. It's like just made entirely out of crests. Yeah, another thing that's really interesting about adapting the light gun shooter idea to a Resident Evil game is it's survival horror, so you have limited ammo, and so it makes the need to be precise more urgent. Besides just a high score. I'm guessing that's not it for you. HUD, please move. Oh, maybe that is it for you. Oh god, that's a lot of enemies. Oh, you have a quick turn. Nifty. Puzzle when you want to sail a sail. Yes, exactly. That's Spencer Nautical Dynamics for you. So I got to get up there on the long end of this hallway. One thing that is kind of puzzling is just how many, like, I'm pretty sure they took some data from PS1 Resident Evil games and repurposed it here, because I'm trying to think of a PlayStation 2 Resident Evil that has like cops in it. Cops in uniform, which is obviously a Raccoon City staple, and I can't imagine why somebody like on the creative side, outside of just the sheer convenience of already having those models, would have thought like, oh yeah, cops in uniform, street cops in uniform on a high-class tanker. Man, this is not. Can I? Take some pot shots here. Alright. In an attempt to hit a 2D target, I am closing one eye to make my vision itself also 2D. Alright. I'm going to run up there and then try to parry as soon as I get to the top. Yes! It worked. Stairs are their greatest enemy, in fact. When you got creaky joints, the last thing you want to do is change elevation. Yeah, thanks, Rendelay. Yeah, the camera's getting direct feed. The video is going, like, from PS2 to converter box to system. Yeah.
Oh, wait, you saved me earlier. You're Chinese security girl, huh?
Oh, nifty. I didn't know about that. I'll try that. Play with that next time. You know, as much as the current Resident Evil, the batch of RE games, you know, RE7, RE2 Remake, RE3 Remake, as much as they've been calling attention back to, oh, what am I thinking about? Resident Evil Outbreak. Those are PS2 Resident Evil games.
What's your name?
Although those actually came after this one, so those would not have been sources to borrow assets from.
I suggest we simply stay out of each other's way.
Anyway, yeah, like, they have the opportunity now to make,
That's my name.
Lei, I think her name is, and Bruce. Finally, they can become canon, like the Outbreak crew. And a skinny buff, yeah. I mean, he's your Leon Kennedy type, right? It's really interesting looking at his character model. Let's see, let me look at your face here, fella. Like, similar with God, you know, like they did with God Hand. You know, they spent probably a more significant part of their art budget making Jean's back look good, because you're going to be looking at that for most of the game. I think it's kind of the similar thing here. You know, I think they're aware that you're going to want to look at Bruce's face, and so they give attention to his windswept anime hair, and some attention to his face. There's more detail there than there is in a lot of spaces. But yeah, just like the difference in polygon count, attention to detail from his back to his front, I feel at least is noticeable. Is this coat in RE4? Yeah. Yeah, Leon's the same way. They ported that to, they ported RE4 to this. It would be interesting to compare. I also wonder how much, I don't know the first thing about how they develop light gun games, but I do wonder how much they needed to keep processing on visuals low in order to keep performance at a certain level for the light gun to be effective. I have no idea if that's even a concern, but it comes to mind. There we go. Giving me some old school fixed camera angles in my free roam adventure Resident Evil. Just cramp the fingers after a bit. Yeah, the stare animation is a little wonky. Probably one of the reasons why they keep you far away from it. Running dangerously low, and in a light gun shooter you don't get a knife. Ah, there's a flammable box there. Yeah, special crit rounds. I think I just triggered a zombie. I did, in fact. I triggered 2. Awesome. Actually doing fairly well. Again, the screen is very small and it's very dark. Hey Viper, it's great to see you. I thought about you when I made this selection. I was like, you know what? This seems like the kind of thing that Viper would remember. Though actually, I'm really curious. Viper, you would be a great source on this. Earlier at the start of the stream, I was talking about how the first Resident Evil Survivor, the GUNCON2 for the PlayStation 1. Was censored on the US version because that was right after Columbine, because that was back when we still had souls and felt sensitivity towards school shooting. Plural. But I know that in the AU they've got different restrictions around that. Do they let light gun shooters hit the market there, or did they in the PS2 generation? Yes, the shade is powerful. Please, God, somebody left... I mean, somebody have left some bullets in the bathtub or something. Yeah! Oh, jeez, I've got, like, 1 left. I hope this gun is good for critting, too. Alright. Interesting. Yeah, in terms of the gun controllers needing to be designed like that, that is something I was noticing, the difference between the GUNCON1, which has the gray, body and the orange tip, indicating that, it's like an airsoft gun, whereas the GUNCON2 is entirely orange. They're just like, you know what? We're not gonna fool around on this. GUNCON45. Interesting. Wonder if they had different color conventions for different regions. Thank God. Save rooms are quite generous with with handgun bullets. On normal mode, you can make it through if you've got reasonably decent accuracy. Let's see. Cool. All black or gray. I wonder how much that has to do with the sort of like assumed availability of firearms around the home. You know, I mean, I grew up with guns in my household. You know, my dad was in the military, so, and my extended family was agrarian. So these are not unusual things, and not really like patriotic gung-ho freedom fighting stances, but you know, I grew up with them, and so having something that is like clearly color coded as play gun is important. And I wonder, I know in Japan they're illegal for all but cops, so I wonder if that influences that. And bear in mind, my knowledge about the availability of guns in Japan is based entirely off Adachi's character in Persona 4. He became a cop so he could have a gun. Take that for what it's worth. All right, friend. Yeah. Sir, somebody else came back. It sounded like. I guess not. Oh wow, they're really close. Nifty. I'll catch up on chat here. Really? A biohazard Beretta replica? Wait, so is that like a replica Beretta that is an actual gun, or like an airsoft replica? Yeah, I think that, I mean, the enemy density is also influenced in part by the environments. You know, one of the things they are doing is your typical Resident Evil. This is actually an interesting thing in terms of how standard Resident Evil design impacts how a game like this operates. Oh, hello. Is, you know, it always starts off in tight corridors. You know, you've got your Spencer Mansion, your RPD. Now, based on where that decal hit, I'm pretty sure I hit you. Spencer Mansions, your RPDs, your back alleyways of Raccoon City. And so having having a lot of enemies in very packed spaces for a rail shooter that kind of corrals them in front of you is actually a pretty good tutorial. And seems like maybe like one of the better ways for a hybrid like this to work. Let's see, where am I? Oh, nifty. I dig the Samurai Edges design. Okay, so I unlock that. Let's try 201. Although, I think what key item did I get? No, friend, go back. What do you see, Bruce? Ah, good. Ooh, documents. This will be my final report on Morpheus for a while, since it appears that he is starting to suspect something. I'm guessing from the hung corpse in the bathroom, Morpheus figured it out. Until further notice from me, please refrain from contacting me so that I can devote myself to doing my regular job as his aide. After robbing Lab in Paris, preparing to board the cruiser. Literally, the cruiser. This is interesting because this is kind of like a snapshot of a certain style of Japanese to English localization, where certain proper nouns are very awkwardly corralled into quotation marks. Like his obsession with the beauty keeps escalating, and he just recently has undergone plastic surgery to retain his youthful looks. Often says questionable phrases like "I will eliminate the ugly things in the world and create my kingdom filled with beauty." He is clearly an insane ideologue. Negotiations in several countries. Yeah. Yeah, man, all those scientists and aesthetes, always just like one opportunity away from snapping and apocalypsing the whole lot of us. Okay. Oh, hi. There we go. What? Oh, not long to get that did. Oh, thank you. I was slightly disappointed with myself. There we go. Oh, let's catch a bunch out here. A chance to rest my arms. It's true. No, Viper, I did not injure my wrist, at least not in any kind of like, not in any specific moment. This is carpal tunnel settling in. I am 40 and it's hit. So in order to maintain good wrist posture while I'm using a fairly awkward controller, I've got a brace that I use also for typing and mouse usage and that sort of thing. And yeah, that zombie was coming at me fast. This is before the age of blitzing zombies, but they still gave him variable speeds. Younger than I thought. Well, thank you, I think. Glad I look older than I am. I kid, I'm hardly sensitive about my age. Oh god, oh god. I'm much more oh Jesus! Whew. Wow, really busted it out on that one. No more time to line up your pot shots, buddy. Ooh, what is this? Oh, semi-automatic burst handgun. Man, burst handguns are such a... Like, I get that it's supposed to be like an incremental improvement on what you have available, but they always just like wind up wasting ammo, right? They would be really good, I admit, in a situation like the one I just was in when I was like rushed by those zombies. But like for the most part, I always find myself wasting at least one bullet on a zombie because the burst fires and I only needed one or two to finish it off, and it's just more aggravating than anything else. At most, you thought I was in my mid-40s? Well, no, that's fine. I, for most of my life, have been of indeterminate age. Oh, Jesus! For most of my 20s, people thought I was in my 30s. 30s was about the only time people were accurate on my age. And now, depending on the day, I vary between 40s and 30s. Thankfully, no one thinks I'm in my 50s yet. But, I guess what I'm saying, it's not like I've ever trended youthful in my appearance, so it's not, so I don't feel like there's anything really lost by getting older. What is this, Silent Hill? Actually, that is a weird thing, and for a Resident Evil game, because you know, almost every door in Resident Evil opens. Alright, cool. Come on, game. I'm trying to play tactically here. Three headshots in a row with one burst fire, that's pretty amazing. I would feel pretty accomplished if I achieved the same. And yeah, Viper, you're definitely not alone on that. It evens out as you get as you and your peers age, and you are mysteriously timeless. All right, stairs, first floor hallway, freezing room, dining room, kitchen. I thought Oh yeah. Okay, there we go. Yeah, one of the things that I really liked about this game, when I was when I was when I was a younger writer and I was trying to write my very first video game reviews, this was a game that I wrote a mock review of to sort of try it out. And one of the things that I remember calling out that made me feel like maybe I knew what I was doing was admiring how the sound design in this game. The sound design in this game had a haunted effect from it, not from the zombies alone, but just from the atmosphere. Because when you're at sea and there are all the different different frequencies of sound that you're getting from the machinery and from the water, and the ship itself almost has a haunted feel. This game has a very special place in my heart for being that. Alright, so I think it's the other side of this round room. That's my next step. Running water. Saw that red point and briefly parsed it as a Silent Hill Homecoming save point. Wrong visual language there, Jay. Oh wow, it's visual popping there. Anything here? Before I grab the shotgun, which is clearly going to trigger the emergence of several zombies. Huh. Bruce's head seems to have a hard time figuring out what his priority is. Tracking the zombies to come to life or the weapon itself. Okay. I really don't want to use the shotgun on these dead-end zombies, so I'm going to try and grab it. I'm going to try and grab the ammo and then skedaddle. No. Nothing is a threat, but I'm not doing this as seamlessly as I would like. Oh, Jesus. Nope.
Yeah.
Whew. All right. Catch up on chat here. Aggro flashes on the zombies as the danger indicators. That's true. And yes, Toe. It is funny that they are playing dead. In fact, they're really leaning into their roles on that. And in Mode 7, yes, I agree. I think that you're right. I think he is tracking the zombies that are on the ground theatrically or playing dead, if you please. Oh, you're coming back. My obsessive need to reload is a liability sometimes as I play a light shooter. There we go. Aim for the hat. I hear you. Thank God that zombie did what no player can, which is break the barrier of a rope gate. That sound effect is interesting, and as I go through this game, I would like to pay attention this time to what it's supposed to indicate, because you hear it the first time you drop into the ship after the Morpheus cutscene at the start. I don't know if it indicates if it's like, new area. I kind of want to say maybe it played after the cutscene on the... Oh, Jesus. I did not see you. I'm so sorry. I'll just leave you be. They're just looking at the water. Oh yes, also, if you hold down your crawl, march, walk button, thank you, you can keep moving in first person. You can do this stealthily. Is that possible? Let's find out. Oops. Sorry, fish. Yeah. All right. Enough of that. Cool. It's very weird that they give me a stealth weapon in this, and I don't think that, excuse me, stealth is really an option in this. Hey, Shantae. Yeah, the gun is the controller. This is the GUNCON2. It's a PlayStation 2 light gun controller that has the D-pad on the back for movement. It's got the start and select buttons on the side. These two things right here are shoulder buttons. And there's also, I actually don't know what role this serves in this game, there's a button on the heel here. Oh, apparently it's cancel. Hold on. I'm holding it like a rifle. Anyway, yeah. So just a quick primer for anybody who just came in. So yeah, what's kind of funny about these guns, these gun controllers, is they're analog light sources, and they have their own CRT composite out video cable that has to be spliced into the PlayStation 2's video out and then run into the TV, so both light sources are going at once, which makes for a very convoluted streaming setup. Mode 7, thanks for coming out. It's always great to see you, and I hope you sleep well. If you wake up in the next couple hours, then hop back on in. We'll be glad to see you. Yeah, this was the more successful of the Resident Evil light gun games. The first one was Resident Evil Gun Survivor, often panned as the worst game in the series, which I don't agree with. I enjoyed Gun Survivor a lot, and I think that its zombies were among the best ones graphically on... Now those decals are telling me that I hit you. Yeah, so Gun Survivor is good, and we'll play that at some point. That used the GUNCON1 for the PS1. Gun Survivor, the second Gun Survivor game, Resident Evil, was Code Veronica. I think it was an arcade shooter that had limited home release. And this was the only one, to my knowledge, that was accessible in North America that actually had GUNCON controller. activity. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's the only one that actually worked with the GUNCON controller. Viper, did you ever play Dino Stalker? So I need to get into the pool deck. Hold on. I need to go back and examine something to mark it on my map. Yeah. So what I'll do after we play Dead Aim, you know, on a series of streams, I've been intending to do a GUNCON series of streams anyway. So this would be a good next take on it. Gun Survivor, there we go, that's what I need. Dino Stalker is a Dino Crisis themed GUNCON2 game, and it uses the controls to similar capacity, except it stays firmly third person. And I think you'll dig it. It's very silly in the Dino Crisis ways. Dino Crisis just can't seem to take itself as seriously as Resident Evil, however much it tries. And yeah, that'll be fun. That is much more of an arcade shooter. So now I got a key, and I need it for that box. So here we go. One thing I do like about the way that they designed it, with it's like all the buttons that you need outside of the start and select buttons are symmetrical on the controller. So let's see, which one do I want? Yeah. So whether you're right or left-handed, you can use it. Excuse me. Thank you. So what does that open for me now? Okay. Does that open? Let's try it out. Okay. Oh, that's neat. Oh, that's cool. I really like the visual effects on that that glass. I'm looking around and I'm trying to see if it's supposed to be reflecting. I think it's supposed to be reflecting that window. Oh, that's cool. I wonder if it actually is reflecting that window, or if they just have like a bubble of polygons on the other side that's swinging around independently. Anyway, that's a nice little feature, and one that I have never taken the time to notice before. Bravo to you guys. Everybody appreciates when special tricks are used to simulate mirror effects. Yes, it is part of Dino Crisis canon, and it's so good. You are a fighter pilot in World War II, and you are about to get shot down. Then all of a sudden, you blip out. You go into like a Tron grid state, and you disappear. And then you wake up falling in the middle of nowhere, being attacked by pterodactyls, because that's what they do. And it's just like a gun materializes in your hand and a comm watch materializes on the other, and it's like as you're falling through the sky, you teleport and you're shooting dinosaurs. It's pretty great. And I actually haven't finished that one, so that would be a stream first time thing. DC1 takes itself seriously and is a chore to play. Excuse me. It does. DC2, that's when they got much more action-y. Shantae, have you played many light gun games? Is that a genre that you've jumped in on? Brother, how's everything? My life has taken a turn for the better because I'm on a luxury cruiser. Well, actually, I work as a waiter on a luxury cruiser. Most passengers are well known. I've seen them before on TV. I, by proxy, have been seen on TV. That pans out. My colleague told me that they came from various countries to discuss business, and that a world-famous drug company owns this cruiser. Anyway, I'm doing fine. Take care of mother for me. Love to all, Joseph Carter. Brother, it's me, Joseph, ready to give you exposition. Light shooters, either rail or otherwise. Despite really liking GunCon games, I actually don't play many shooters like in the arcades and stuff. So it's a little. I'm glad that Viper is here with some more knowledge of the genre, because it's good to have somebody knowledgeable. What is that symbol? I'm kind of impressed that they took the time to make these, at least make three varieties of slot machine. I'm just trying to parse out what the middle icon of this one is, and I'm not so sure. Killer 7. Well, kind of. I mean, at least by the terms of this game. So I don't know if I can do this, but oh yeah, hey, this is kind of cool. So yeah, this game can be played with a regular controller, like this, and if you press R1, you go into there we go. Yeah, if you press R1, you go into first-person view, and you can use the right control stick to aim, and you press R1 to fire, and R2 to reload. And something is making me spin. Cool. Knock that off. Cool. Anyway, yeah, so you can play this with a controller. So, Killer 7 is definitely a shooter in that same vein. Oh, this is a good opportunity to see what the reflection is. Alright, there's no painting behind me, so I'm guessing that is probably just a bubble they put on the other side to make it look like a reflection. Nonetheless, cool, and I love it. Okay, so, all right. And while we're here, I do want to publicly congratulate Shantae for joining us at Poorly Timed Games as a staff writer. Congratulations, Shantae. We are happy to have you on board. All right, now it's a Resident Evil game. It seems to be closed. Well, Bruce, I've got some very good news about the accuracy of that intuition. Freight crewman's diary. What does that say? That's a very low-res image, so I can't tell what that is on the text on the thing. August 27th, Tuesday, 2002. Yes, today is my 100th day anniversary since coming aboard. I have not left the ship in 100 days. God, kill me. But that's all I can write about since this place is so boring. I expected a lot because this is a luxury cruiser, but I've learned that there is almost no difference from working on a cargo vessel. Grammatically, this is really weird because it puts luxury cruiser in quotation marks, doesn't capitalize both, and puts the comma outside the quotation marks. There's all kinds of hybrid stuff going on here. Finally, I have something to write about. Today, large cargo was carried into the presentation room, which doesn't get quotation marked, which is beyond the boiler room. Recently, many people are going in and out of that room. I wonder what's taking place in there. I'm curious because the crew doesn't seem to have access to that room. Red mark through a break in the sheet of one of the cargo crates today. I'm guessing the crates are covered in sheets. Symbol for bio and chemical weapons. Passengers still going in and out of that room. Hidden door, not sure where it would lead. Boss yelled at me today for not paying more attention to my job. What a jerk, but I'd better be more careful since I really need to keep this job. It is true, friend. When you're at sea, you need to keep your job. Hello? Handle just popping right in there.
Should have left by now. Somewhere in America, there's a kitten stuck in the tree, desperately needing your help. Oh well, thanks for the present.
Funny girl. Give me a hand. Fong Ling!
What about that kitten? Ooh, that's a lot of zombies. None of whom I am dealing with. Let's see. What does this look like here? I should go left, forward, through. Okay. Ah, come on. That hardly seems fair. Kind of turned around here. Oh. No, 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 no! Okay, there we go. Cool. Yes. That is what I'm looking for. Fongling is brutal. Fongling doesn't care. She is willing to bring up that cat in the tree, and she doesn't care about what you think about, you know, that. So it is it is a character change without much ceremony. Oh, I don't know if I can go through this door. Yup. That's interesting. She will not reload. What does her ammo look like? Excuse me. Oh, okay. So she can't reload that incrementally like she will a handgun. That's nifty. It's interesting the way this controller, like, I mean, it's like if I'm firing an actual gun, it's going to be holding both hands here, but because I need to brace my hands to press this button so often, I find myself resting my finger on the front of the trigger guard. This is how I think I would hold my hands. It's been years, so. Oh, Bruce just came along fine.
And you are just fun.
You will not destroy this for me.
Oh no, they've got Geralt of Rivia coming right after them. It would look more hardcore. That's one of the things I appreciate about this one more.
Our party guests seem to arrive. Hurry up, Polly.
That Hunter death animation is so strange. Where they stretch their full length and height. Because hunters are hunched over for the most part in their appearance in the series, and seeing their full size is surprising.
Enjoy your stay.
Not again.
I'll never try.
Bruce is so easily eluded. That was the wrong adrenaline, Bella. load up. Although, you do have limited ammo capacity. Let's see. Yeah, you have a limit of 6 possible ammo items to fall in that slot. And, you know... Okay. Cool. Is that... oh, I can't carry anymore. Just got in the habit of doing it, so automatically I stopped reading. Oh, and let's go ahead. There we go. It might look a little ridiculous how much how many healing items I have, given how much damage I've been taking, but around midpoint the difficulty jacks up significantly with the different varieties of monsters. So they that generosity is welcome. I wonder if Bruce feels jilted as a Resident Evil protagonist, that he found a crank wheel, but did not himself get to implement it. Oh, what the? Behind me. Jesus. Please be in front of me this time. Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh my god. That's a bad situation. Even in taking strength potions like Geralt, that is true. I've been going through the Witcher audiobooks for the past couple of months. One of the things that I've been doing during sheltering. I made it through The Last Wish, Sword of Destiny, and now I'm on the about four chapters into Blood of Elves. And wait a minute, did I just get turned around? Hi, back. Okay, no, good. Yes, solid stories, very good storytelling. With more depth than I was expecting. I don't know where any kind of like negative assumption came from, but yeah. I was expecting just kind of like straight fantasy action, which of course it has, but characters are much more reflective, and in fact their reflections take up a significant portion of the page space. So I value that. I hear zombies. I see a zombie. What is? Oh. What is this? Oh, it looks like it. Okay, so it's like an ampule from Silent Hill. For me, story retention with audiobooks is a little different. I often have to listen to the same thing over and over again, and my acoustic attention is a little bit different than my, on-page attention. But it has been one of my main resources for getting stories in over the past couple of years. So it's I recommend it. I think that yeah, you might find like different parts of your brain are activated by it. Yeah, Viper, same. I like the world and the characters quite a lot, and like I think the thing I was expecting Geralt to be kind of like broody anti-hero, which he is, but he's also got. My wife and I disagree on this assessment, and it's unfortunate because I'm right. Is that the Netflix series has a very sort of like darker version of the Hercules and Xena TV show from the 90s. It has that sort of camp edge to it that feels like how I remember those shows feeling. And she disagrees with that assessment entirely. But I think that's one of the things that sold me on Geralt as a character, is that there's something silly and sort of like, maybe a little bit self-aware of the character type being used, and not in a way that's like bringing him down or fourth wall breaking. It's just it's charming. It's charming. Roundley, actually, the podcast, yes, something regular, not quite so good on that. I do have a podcast where I discuss the intersection of poetic imagination and video games, and we talk about a particular game for the podcast episode, and also talk about a couple of poems in conjunction with it. And I've got 2 episodes out. A third one, actually featuring Shantae, who is in chat, is on the way. I was editing that today, and I've just been delinquent on it because I've been working on a bunch of other stuff, and I need to bump that up as a priority because it's been a few months since the podcast episode came out, which is why the regular part is suspect. I've got an attention span that doesn't serve all projects like I would like it to. So no map currently. The name of the podcast is the Deltahead Podcast. Here, let me tap it out here for you. Bit hard to listen to when you do audio work. Yeah, that's true. It is. It definitely is conflicting with the senses you need to do your work. It's either deltahead.libsyn.com or libsyn.deltahead.com. I think that's the right order for it. First game under discussion was Tokyo Jungle. Second game was Bloodborne, and the third one with Shantae is Contra 3. And that is forthcoming. Pardon me. Special Elite version has been modified for presentation. Faster and more powerful than a standard hunter. Created with a newly developed virus. Attacks objects with its huge arms. What's that name? Does that say Tyrant? It's an interesting RL reversal for what is one of the series' signature names. Attacked object with its used arms, agility, striking power outstanding. Because unessential organ is exposed. You don't say. TG virus. As you can see, there's much room for improvement. High voltage current. Electromagnetic barrier, make it invulnerable. Probably means I can't shoot it. Human test subject. All right. It's very interesting that, like, Morpheus's whole thing is a fascination with beauty, and using the T-virus changes his physique to female.
Morpheus?
I think that's the only time in the Resident Evil series where that happens. If I remember correctly, I think this is an unwinnable fight. But oh god, do I hate being chased. Yeah, Contra 3 is fantastic. I still have it show up. I still have the Contra Anniversary Collection show up every time I fire up the Wii. It's the one that we switch whenever we play Animal Crossing. That's that and the Castlevania Collection are the two that are right behind. Oh, Viper! I've been meaning to tell you, if you have a Switch, there's a game called Arrest of a Stone Buddha. I know that you and I, both mutually like the Yakuza series games a lot. If you like them, and if you like kind of like shooters, and I know you do, you'll like this. It's very strange, it's very interesting, and has a very noir. I think you play like a Japanese hitman in the 1970s in France looking for answers. I don't know what that means yet, I'm not far enough along in it, but the style is really good and the gameplay is strange and oddly technical. So if you have the time and the money to pick that up, I highly recommend it. Oh god! I don't know what I'm looking for, but I hear someone behind me. Here. There we go. Oh! Yoink! Ooh. I don't even know what I'm looking for. Oh, I bet I'm looking for a key card. I'm waiting to hear if Morpheus will spawn from another direction in this room. But I'm thinking that's not going to happen. Well, secondhand is about the only way that switches are available now. At least it's in the US. I don't know if it's the same way in Australia. Yes, that is what I'm looking for. Oh! Oof. God, stalkers that are right on your heels in games are just awful for me. Okay, I hear the footsteps. So I'm running. Oh, I don't unlock it here? Oh wait, there was someplace. I'm kind of remembering now. Oh, wasn't there a place before Yeah, prices have been gouged here as well. I had hoped that it wasn't the same thing over there, but yeah. Now I've got to remember where that card reader was. Oh, God. What's my health looking like here? I'm on orange caution. Probably going to keep taking damage, so let's just keep that going. Map? Yes. Okay. It was the presentation room, I think. I think I'm in the wrong area. Oh, and I'm getting caught on Geo. Please be it. Thought, okay. Excuse me. So, nowhere there. The lift is not available. You cannot go outside. Okay. Okay. Maybe I need to go back into the spiral staircase hall. No, I can't. I can't dodge that, apparently. Oh, thank God. That's what I need. Yes, cutscene. I'm out of here.
What? I'll explain later. Open this door from the inside.
When they're out of FMVs and they are dramatizing the moment in using the character models, whatever they're doing with the necks is very strange. like Bruce's neck seems to have a kind of elastic quality that I don't think is human. Ooh, frame rate drop there. Oh god. Oh, I'm just looking for the power source. Yark! Ah, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. As we all know, hunters don't climb stairs. I wonder. Oh, there we go. I wonder how much of it is mocap and how much of it is animated. Just like going back and watching a lot of older games, I'm just really impressed with how quality the animation is. Sure. When it's hand keyed.
How many times are you expecting me to save you, mister?
Come on. What are friends for? I'm just trying to help you build up your confidence.
Don't qua.
Don't.
Shh.
I think he's given up.
There's like an open grate right above them.
Wait. Before you said Donghua, what does that mean?
It means you are cool.
Obviously, it doesn't mean that. Well, it's probably both. I mean, it's very actiony, right? And I'm also not screaming as much, which I admit does contribute to some of the more jump scary natures of any horror games that I stream. But it's also, I'm noticing, I can see on my computer over there how much brighter the game is. It doesn't have the kind of like dark gothic feel of a lot of horror games. But if you've been hanging around a lot of horror streams, your stamina is probably building up for it, for sure. Okay. Cool. The VR Resident Evil game is terrifying, and like when I was being pursued by Morpheus there, one of the things I was mentally comparing it to was being chased by Jack in VR, which is one of the more horrifying things. Because whenever you turn around, he's right there. Okay, I think... Let's see. What am I looking at here? Okay, I guess there's nothing else in here. Typically same on VR horror. In particular with jump scares. Oh, I think I'm putting up a monster closet. Because I hear them. Yeah, jump scares in VR are not things that I appreciate. Because when it's on the screen, it is objectified in a sense. I can push it away from me, like literally. Um, so it gives me that jolt of adrenaline, but there's part of me that knows I'm safe. And if it's in VR, then that element of safety is gone. And what it does is it triggers the whole, not just adrenaline, but the fight or flight instinct. And it, uh, it makes me very angry, like viscerally angry, as though somebody like physically like got in my face. And so I just like exist in a state of anger for like hours, 1 or 2 hours, while that just calms down. Um, and it's not a pleasant experience, and that's not what I'm looking for out of a video game. Oh, there you go. There we go. Rude. Nightmares also. I find that. One second. Oh, that's nifty. Right before they shoot acid, they kind of hold their heads in place so you have an easier headshot. Yeah, nightmares. Do you tend to do you kind of feel it during waking hours as well? Does that anxiety or that sense of feeling anxious carry over? Pardon me. Let's see. All right. I think Bruce's head is tracking the location of the zombie I just shot. Okay. Door here that was locked. Oh, okay, it's not a keycard door. No. Okay. I think I need to really spend time on this. Bingo. Something I'm noticing is how little music there is in this game. Dismissal notice. 1998. Attention, Mr. Morpheus A. D. Duval. Upon investigation, we have concluded that you are responsible for the incident in Raccoon City on May 11th, 1998. Your services with this company are hereby terminated. Oh my god, how many people did they put this? How many people's heads rolled because of this? Moreover, your non-disclosure agreement shall remain in effect. Finally, your final paycheck will be fulfilled in accordance with the dismissal procedure portion of your agreement. Regards, Umbrella Corporation, Personnel Division. Yeah, and I'm noticing like even the save room music doesn't have the complexity of like the RE3 classic RE3 save room music, right? It just sort of has like a few notes and then it like that. Let's see, what time are we at here? 9:04? We're good. While we're at the save room, though, give me just 1 second. I'm going to take a quick break. We'll be back in like 2 minutes. All right, I'm return. And give you a reprieve from contents of my bookshelf. One of them, anyway. So, what did I do with the that thing? Hey, kiddo. There it is. Oh. So, did I save it? Yes, save data complete. Nope, don't do that, friend. a very strange red object. Okay, and yeah, is this something I need to interact with? It is not, in fact. So, presentation room. Viper, I recently started Yakuza Kiwami 2. And because I know both of us appreciate those games, I feel the need to tell you this. It's good. I really enjoy it, but it does I've noticed mechanically it's doing a very strange thing, whereby heat actions, or rather heat appears to build up not from... You build up heat better by blocking than by attacking, and that's very strange. I'm playing on normal, and maybe hard mode is the ideal way to do it, but in the sort of very laid-back way that a lot of the Yakuza games handle street-level combat outside of boss encounters, the enemies don't initiate, they don't attack very much. So I find myself just like wailing on them, hoping to build up enough heat to be able to use like one move every 2 fights, and then maybe trying to poke them to get them to attack me so I can block. It's strange and different for the series, and I don't think bad. I just wish they attacked more if that is in fact the way that they're playing that. There's that sound again. I think the sound means new area or new thing unlocked. But I'm not sure what it wants me to do at this point. Outside of, I mean, this connects everything. Let's see. Okay. That's all clear. Looks like there's more here. Hey, kiddo. Than I have encountered. So I'm guessing this lift is a destination. It was not present when I was there last time. So maybe I need to... Oh. Get my way over there. Or, no, the captain room. I bet that's where I need to go. Okay. Grapples and hurling an enemy into the group. That's not a bad idea. Oh, there's a shutter. Hey. Coming up? Guess not. Well, that doesn't help. Maybe I can get down to the side hallway. Oops. What? Okay. I played through the first Godaryuji fight yesterday, and boy, that is a bottleneck to see if you've been paying attention to the mechanics. That is, it took me, whereas all the brawl fights, you know, the rush down from the Patriarch's room to the courtyard of the Omi Alliance headquarters, that was a breeze, and I used like one toughness XX on my way down. When I got to Goda's fight, it was just brutal. I was stuck on that thing for like an hour and a half. Oh no, do you? Goda's amazing. I love him. He's just like kind of like the ideal antagonist for a game like that. I'm at the point where the cop, who is the 4th Division, hold on. He was the head of the 4th Division organized crime unit, and she's explaining how the Goda family handles their hits, and she says that the whole hiring a hitman thing doesn't really occur to them. They just like muscle their way forward and aggressively, beat up where they have to beat up, and that just fits the brawler feel so cleanly. Viper, did you play Yakuza Dead Souls? Or Yakuza of the End? Yeah, I've played through Dead Souls significantly. I love that game. I think it was supposed to be a precursor or a proof of concept for what ultimately went on to be Binary Domain. And it's interesting. If you play Binary Domain, and if you are familiar with the stock animations that the Yakuza games have used forever, the whole that guy, the guy who does this, they use that sort of those canned animations in Binary Domain when you're in the sort of outpost intermediary areas. It's pretty neat to see. Don't patronize me. Binary Domain was a favorite. I love that game. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the characters, and it was a good replicant sci-fi story. It also had it takes place in like this like hyper-futuristic Tokyo where the lower level of the city is flooded, and they've actually built a superstructure on top of Tokyo, kind of like the way like Midgar in Final Fantasy VII is constructed, where there's like a plate civilization, and it's a very cool environment. 4 months since the Spencer Rain left port. This ship is called the Spencer Rain. Of course, because it's made by Spencer. Oh my god. Oh man, this guy. I'm proud that we have been having a safe voyage so far. A representative from Umbrella, the owner of the cruiser, spoke words of appreciation. The crew has reported nothing special. I am concerned that the ones may be breaking free. I will make sure to always have my Magnum pistol with me. It's very funny that they qualify Magnum with pistol. I don't know what else that Magnum would refer to. Can't signal for rescue. What should I do? The passengers and crew are all dead now. All I can do is accept what has been happening on my ship as my destiny.
Oh, yeah.
Pardon me, sir. I don't believe that for 1 second. Burst handgun coming through. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so you can adjust the number of burst fires. Yeah, you get, depending on how long you hold down the trigger. Cloud rains. I mean, I at least prefer cloud rain to the clear sky rain, because then at least you know where it's coming from. What's your art look like here? I will, in fact, take these Magnum rounds. But, yeah. Okay. There's a sizable marlin. Have a great night, Shantae. It's great to see you. Talk to you soon. Ah. I want to go back to that save room and get some ammo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on just 1 second. Let me shoot this fella here. There we go. top 5 games list. Yes. Top is Killer 7. Below that would be probably Resident Evil 7. Then it gets trickier after that. There are a lot of really good games. So that's 2 out of 5. That's just a start. Yeah, those are Metal Gear Solid 2 also is very good. It is a top by default, even if I am a little bit tired of it by this point.
The alarm can't be any good. Any idea
And Metal Gear Solid 3, of course.
Oh no!
We gotta get out of here.
Go!
And for pure gameplay, God Hand. That is a favorite. Though, the sense of humor in God Hand has not aged well, and arguably wasn't that great to begin with, so bear that in mind. Sticky Fingers Tyrant. Kind of call this guy the 5-finger discount.
I'll distract the monster while you run after Morpheus.
Got it.
Pockets just full of Snickers bars.
Alright, monster. It's payback time.
It is interesting that they give Bruce a payback time moment there when I mean, he did have the moment where the tyrant smashed through the window and knocked him on his rear, but it wasn't that. Didn't have quite the standoff that I think would pay off. Michigan Report from Hell. I think I played the first 10 minutes of it with somebody. Isn't that an EU only English language release? PAL only? Conk. Trying to counter. But my timing is not. Oh wow, that's I'm really doing rough there. Oh, it's. That's it. How did I miss? That was. Oh man. Ooh. Some reindeer antlers there. Alright, appears I cannot jump jump around that. Shoot. Yep. Whoa. That was weird. It turned the camera angle around, and it was inside his head model when it did. Do it. Did it. Initial impressions on RE8. Hold on one second. Want to watch this this FMV. The quality of the FMVs in these games are really good. I'm impressed. They put some budget into that. Like GUNCON2 from Killer 7.
Morpheus.
All right. Yeah, right. The putting the T virus, I mean, just anywhere underground in the water, but in the water especially, one would assume that it would transmit in a fluid more rapidly than otherwise. Initial RE8 impressions. I'm really excited by it. I'm not at all convinced that Chris is like. I've heard some people suspect that Chris is evil, not especially after The Last of Us 2's I don't know, disconnect between what's in a trailer and what's in the game. Am not particularly trusting of that, so I think that remains to be seen whether or not that's what Chris is actually up to. I think it will be cool to see Ethan back, playable character or not. I hope that he retains his office worker quality, anonymous office worker feel, and does not become a backflipping badass like Leon and every other character from the PS1 Resident Evils once they were taken out of tank controls. but it does look like RE4 in an updated in an updated environment, which is very exciting. Is this something? MGS2 trailer. Yeah, but the thing about the MGS2 trailer is I don't think, and I'll have to go back and watch, I can rewatch it again if I'm wrong, but I don't think that it had Snake's model in any scenes where Raiden was the main character, where Raiden ultimately was the playable character. Been a long time, I could be forgetting something, but yeah. Make Ethan interesting. It really is the it's the office worker feel. I don't want to say everyman because you know, Ethan's got character background, which takes the more specific a character's background is, the more it takes them away from the everyman sort of archetype. Yeah, I think the fact that Ethan responds to a lot of what's happening in RE7 in these very short, brief, non-intrusive ways that are nonetheless reflections of kind of like what the player's thinking, especially if you're playing in VR, that makes him seem closer to the player than a third-person protagonist might. Survey reported the changes in the BOWs. Weird that you're centering this layout. Torpedo kids. The unknown water creatures are increasing rapidly, primarily in the drainage ditch. Since their body fluid contains strong acid, extremely dangerous to the touch, I named them torpedo kids since they swim like torpedoes. I have learned that there's a mother that spawns all of the torpedo kids. If I can find this mother and kill her, I will be able to exterminate all creatures in this area. I decided to try and exterminate the torpedo kids, so I explored the drainage ditch. Here to try to protect their mother, badly injured, send their territory. If I would get rid of them, I am guessing from the ellipsis that you, sir, did not. If I must die, I want to die as a human. Morpheus, supervisor, bioweapons facility, umbrella, paralyzed. That's interesting, Viper. I'm interested to know, excuse me, what the Silent Hill commonality is. And yeah, Roundelay, that was one of the things that, I mean, I can appreciate surprise protagonists, obviously, being a pretty big fan of the way that Metal Gear Solid 2 did its story. But they swapped out Joel's model for not player characters. They swapped out Joel's model for other supporting characters in other supporting scenes and had, I believe, Troy Baker record those lines that are spoken by other characters. So it really looked like he was there responding to it. And, you know, I can appreciate a surprise playable character. I can also appreciate, well, I mean, the surprise part of it, right? But being led to think one thing deliberately when I would just be happy to have a mystery posed is something I don't particularly like. Because, like, yeah, you want to do something new? I'm already on board. You don't need to trick me. Okay. But I also get that the trailer and that approach might have been made not for me. Like so many things in this world. Okay. Oh, I missed a turn down there. Let's see what this looks like. Motivator to avoid spoilers. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what the motivation there is. Okay. No, I see what you're getting at, Viper. That makes sense. Because I mean, the thing is that James and Harry, you know, they go into pardon me. They go into Silent Hill without having any kind of specialized training, and you know, I think Harry even has a chance of missing with the firearm, which is not something that typically happens when you've got a third-person protagonist in a survival horror game. There we go. I feel like that critical that impact decal did not hit the top of the head where I would expect it to for a crit. But yeah, yeah, the Resident Evil games have always had competent professionals, and part of the horror is like, wow, these highly trained elite individuals are having trouble with the bioweapons. That communicates how much stronger they are. But having an everyman in there and having to struggle with that makes it feel more horror-y, I think. Okay. So I'm going to run down here. I'm going to run straight across, cut a left, and go on those stairs. Oh, God. Excuse me, testing to see how much my voice is projecting because it is getting late. I do not want to run afoul of the HOA's quiet hours. Ugh. No, I don't think I have any. Nope. This is classic Resident Evil territory of the naked zombies being incredibly much harder. So for this, I want to go down the stairs, take a left, back out of that, take a left, hug the right wall, mad dash the lift. All right. Excellent. Let's take a look around first. Yeah.
They're gonna launch missiles carrying the T-virus at major cities across the United States. The Chinese are no longer in this with us. They've agreed to pay the $5 billion.
Then that would make Fong Ling's presence obsolete.
Fong Ling? Bruce, have you had contact with Fong Ling?
Yes, if China were to choose to cooperate with Morpheus.
In any case, the United States will not be threatened, and we do not negotiate with terrorists. The safety of our nation is in your hands. Good luck.
Hold on 1 second. Big fella's got an arm like I don't remember the name of the enemies, but from Silent Hill 3. Rational fiction. What does rational fiction involve? Because I have read fiction, I have read things that I consider rational. But I'm not aware of a specialized genre. Okay, I'm gonna hop down here, take a left, and go to the control room. Extent to which the work explores thoughtful behavior of people in honest pursuit of their goals, as well as consequences of behavior or the fictional world of the story plot. Highly rational fiction, realistic intellectual agencies put above established literary tropes, and other aspects of the narrative. That's interesting. No, I am not familiar with that. I'm not familiar with that. I tend much more toward not trope fiction necessarily, but magical realism and sort of that quality of imagination. Do you have an example? I would be interested in reading it. The Metropolitan Man? Yeah, I'll take a look at that. Well, I could probably pot shot these guys. Oh, phew, yeah. Starting to get tired.
blocking that rail. Cool. Harry Potter and the Methods of Rationality. I have had that recommended to me by a friend whose worldview is very different from mine, but that I respect very much. And he had nothing but good things to say about it, and that's actually, I mean, I have no problem with fan fiction on principle, especially something that comes as highly recommended as that. My understanding is it kind of falls into the area of like the, I don't know if this website is still active, but it was a rationality focused website called Less Wrong back several years ago, and you know, kind of in the Dawkins, Harris, other guy is named Dennett vein. Oh, okay then. Yeah, if you're at the fanfic, then yeah, that speaks well to its interest, to the interest that it would hold for me. Eliezer Yudovsky. I don't. Have you ever seen Wizard People, dear reader? That particular Harry Potter fanfic? Just want to clear these waterways out here. Two of you. Wizard People, dear reader, is amazing. I have watched it, I want to say, at least 15 times. That is how I know the story of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone so well, because I've watched that parody of it, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant. You can find it on YouTube. It's the guy who wrote it does a voiceover in audiobook format over the movie, and the visuals help a lot. Yeah, in a very weird turn, it is like one of the few ways that the entirety of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the movie, is actually available on YouTube, because it doesn't contain the audio track and it's just the narrator speaking. Yeah. In fact, I might watch it tonight myself. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. No. Oh no. The thing's on the other side. Okay. No. Oh boy. Go, 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 go! Alright. Whew. That's a lot of zombies. If I could tilt my vision down, get a better shot at them. Let's do this here. There we go. It's terrible. Oh, hi, you too. Is this how I get my kicks? I mean, I think it's obvious, right? I found it harder and harder to find the motivation to go back to narrative games. Rule of cool takes heavy precedence over something making sense. Do you mean like the need to? Do you mean like the need to have an impressive set piece, or for characters to make bewildering choices that nonetheless create a more sort of like exaggerated, bombastic moment? Like, I'm really curious if you have like an example of that kind of thing in a recent narrative game. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Class act on stream. Yeah, I hear that. Excuse me. Those are challenging design needs to have to accommodate on narrative's end, and a lot of it is graceless if looked at strictly from like a storytelling point of view. There's a lot of lasers. I'm envisioning Maxwell Smart up in that satellite. Missed it by this much. But yeah, no, I have sympathy for the struggle of.
What are you doing?
Uncomfortably fake creepy for getting the microchip out of her arm. But yeah, it's narratively challenging, but needs to be done. And sometimes the best you can hope for is that it be invisible.
It seems to care an awful lot about where you are. Not even their best agent, which makes you expendable. What are you going to do?
I'll continue extension. Morpheus will live up to his end of the deal, even if we pay. But the people of China are still in danger. Oh, and since you saved me this time, I think I should say thanks.
Don't mention it. I'm a Dongguan after all.
Alright, we are back to Bruce. And I imagine that giant thing stomping around out there. Still. But let's see, let's clean up this room. It is about 10 p.m. and I gotta get some dinner here. But let's clear out this room and see what we've got before calling it a night. Oh man, are those Magnum shells? I would like to carry less. Well. Oh, oh, those are probably grenade rounds. They just look like the cylinder that you put in for the Magnum. But yeah, I'll just take these. Thank you very much. Survey report on the changes to BOWs which have been considered failures that have been disposed of. Criminy? Today I'll relocate the observation area to be underground. Low power, dark. Creature, Glimmer, not criminy. Capture a glimmer. Shooting him down. Open itself up before it goes to attack. Subspecies of hunter. Alright, cool. Off-brand hunters down here. Alpha. We hammered a metal rod into their brain for humanitarian reasons. Well, we hammered a rod into his brain. What do you want? Alright, so this is probably the giant stomp monster out there. Alright. So, it's, I think I'm going to call it a night here and get some food. Yeah, thank you for coming out. Roundly, it's great to see you. Boogle, if you're around, adios. And Viper as well. Thanks everyone who came out. And I will be doing the second half of this. It's a quick game, so we'll be wrapping this up on Saturday. And drop by on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we're going to be starting Silent Hill Origins on the PS2. It's part of our series of running through the B-rank Silent Hills. After Silent Hill Origins, we will be going to Silent Hill Downpour, which will be an event. So thank you for coming out, and I hope you have a great night. Oh, yeah, I finished Homecoming. We finished it last time, and I died on the last boss once. And it broke my heart, and I was worried because I didn't want to fight it again. But I did, but only once more. So, have a good night!